Where in the world do you think we are? This is Cameroon, which is often described as Africa in miniature. That's because many of the peoples, cultures, landforms, and climates found throughout the African continent are found in the many regions of Cameroon. Cameroon is one of 52 countries in Africa. It's located just north of the equator. It's about the same size as 11 of our northeastern states, from Maine to Maryland. We'll visit 3 diverse regions in Cameroon, starting with the village of Andek in the northwest. Then, we'll head south to the town of Ambam. And lastly, we'll travel about 550 miles to the city of Bogo in the far north. Each region in Cameroon is unique because of the type of land, vegetation, and climate it has. The Northwest Highland region is covered with a combination of grassland and tropical vegetation. This is where the farming community of Andek is located. Many people have settled throughout the Northwest because it offers an ideal natural environment for farming. The soil is rich from volcanic ash, and it has one of the highest levels of rainfall in the world.
Well, you can say that there are 2 ways to grow inside back.
The southern region is covered by tropical rainforests. This area is less populated because the vegetation is so dense. Most communities here, such as Ambam, have developed along an established route through the tropical rainforest. The city of Yaoundé, which is the capital of Cameroon, is located in the hilly central region. People were initially attracted to this area because of the cooler climate. Yaoundé grew quickly and has become the administrative and educational center of the country. In the far north region, the lowlands are covered with tall grasses. Occasionally, rocky mountains rise from the plains. Every year from October to June, hot and dry winds, called the harmattan, blow across this region. During this time, there is very little rainfall, and the land is dry and dusty. Many people have migrated to the far north because travel across the flatlands is relatively easy. Many villages and towns, such as Bogo, have developed throughout this entire region. A variety of peoples, languages, and cultures can also be found in each of the regions of Cameroon. In fact, over 200 different groups of people live throughout the country. Many speak traditional languages, while others speak one of Cameroon's 2 official languages, which are English and French. Each group teaches its children the traditional beliefs and customs of its people. These children in Andek are performing the music and dance of the Ngui people. They are preparing for an important holiday in Cameroon called Youth Day. Later, we will see how children in the south and far north celebrate the traditions of their people on Youth Day. This is Craig Benson. He's a Peace Corps volunteer who works with the local women's farming group.
Ngui clan is 19 villages, And it represents very well, I think, this northwest province, which is all known for being extremely mountainous, very steep, lots of fresh rivers running everywhere. The people down here are mostly Christian people. They're very extroverted people and very friendly, very outgoing. The church services are very lively. They're real social events. A lot gets said and done in church services. It's not just religious, it's also very communal and social, like people here are.
While Sunday in Andek is a day of rest, there is much work to be done during the rest of the week.
Have you finished?
Some men and boys tend to the livestock. Herds of cattle are led to the tops of the mountains to graze in the grasslands. Teenage boys shimmy up the palm trees to harvest the nuts. Palm nuts contain a red oil that is used for cooking. To force the nuts to grow, the palm fronds are regularly cut back. Most young girls help their mothers around the house before and after school. Women traditionally do all the cooking, cleaning, and farm work. Several times a day, 9-year-old Sylvia gets water for the family. The closest spring is about half a mile from her house. She'll often stop and put a handful of grass on her head to cushion the jug. Water is needed at her house for cooking, bathing, and even for making bricks. In the Northwest, the best time of year to repair or build a house is during the 4-month-long dry season. Lucette, who is 12, makes bricks one by one. After she mixes the dirt and water, she shapes the mud with a wooden frame and then leaves it in the hot sun to dry. It takes only a few days for the bricks to harden, and then they will be ready to use. During the rainy season, the tin roofs protect the dried earth bricks from getting muddy. Andek is in an Anglophone area of Cameroon, which means that it is an area where English is widely spoken.
Here in Ngui, they speak 2 languages. They speak their tribal dialect called Ngui, but then they also speak English. Now, it's not the kind of English that you and I, or all of us in America, are accustomed to speaking. They have something that they call pidgin English. If someone comes to visit you, you say, "How na?" which means, "How are you?" "How na?" and you say, "Ade popo." That means if you're feeling really good, ade popo, that means I'm there just like a papaya. I'm fat, feeling strong. You cook those ones how?
Another way that people in Andek communicate is with a talking drum. By beating the drum a certain way, you can send a message that will be heard throughout the village and up in the mountains. It works a little like Morse code.
When I want to call a women's group together, I get on the drum, start to knock it, and you can really say whatever you want using the drum.
Craig and the women's group work together at a community farm. They are experimenting with new types of fertilizers to see which will improve their crop yields.
One of the great things about working in agriculture is that, first of all, you get all kinds of food. And then the other thing that almost always happens is after a hard day's work, well, you have to play a little bit. So normally we'll get together and eat food together, drink palm wine. Anytime you get together in a big group, always someone will just start clapping, start singing something. Everyone will get interested and energetic and just have a lot of fun together.
Hello, Americans. We are South province in Cameroon. We are going to show you some dance for our festival.
These high school students in Ambam are practicing for Youth Day. This choir calls itself the American Club.
We are the ones to make a better day, so let's start giving.
Ambam is in the heart of the tropical rainforest and has developed along a major trade route. These students have been exposed to many influences from travelers passing through, yet they also take pride in learning the customs of their people, the Antumu. This is a traditional Antumu dance. Students in Ambam and throughout the country enjoy dancing to the modern style of music called Makossa. Makossa started in Cameroon and has become popular throughout Africa and Europe. The word Makossa means to dance. Almost 4,000 students live in Ambam. That means that nearly 2 out of 3 people living here go to school. Ambam is in a francophone area, which means that most people here speak French, but many students also study English. This is Peace Corps volunteer Thurman Mathiason's English class.
Are there some things you would like to say to American students? What would you like them to know about you and Cameroon?
In the future, I want to be the air hostess because to be air hostess is very good. It's a very good job because the air hostess travel in the world.
They travel, yeah.
They travel in the world and they visit a lot of countries. Because when my ambition was realized, I want to go in America to visit the students.
Very good.
In the future, I like to be policeman.
In the future, I like to be a doctor.
I want to be a football player because I want to beat all the American team.
Football, or what we call soccer, is the most popular sport in Cameroon. The national team is one of the best in Africa. Many boys work hard in the hopes of someday trying out for the team. Thurman and many of his students are involved in a community project to help fight pollution in Ambam.
Something I've conveyed to students and other people I've met is the idea that it is one very, very, very small world, and you might not believe it, but things that happen here, whatever happens to the rainforest here is going to affect people in other parts of the world, and what we do with waste in America and Europe is going to affect you here, so that we need to start being responsible towards each other.
Dear classes of the Worldwide School, welcome to our English Club meeting. We are very glad to see you within us. I am the president of this English Club, and the others are the members and entrants for this club. We greet all of you.
The students meet regularly with Peace Corps volunteer Amy Johnston to practice their English and to correspond with their worldwide schools class in the United States.
Do you all know this?
Bogo is in a francophone area, so many people here speak French. Many people also speak the traditional language of the Fulani people. They are excited about sharing their culture with American students and have identified places around the community that are important in their daily lives. The first place is the home of the Lamido, who is the traditional chief of the village. Out of respect, Amy introduced herself to the Lamido when she first arrived in Bogo. The Lamido and his council of nobles and elders are appointed by the government and have specific duties to perform in their community, such as collecting taxes. The Lamido also settles problems according to the customs of the Fulani people. Many Fulani practice Islam. There are 3 mosques in the town of Bogo, where Muslim men and boys can go to pray. Many boys also go to the mosque for elementary school. They learn the teachings of their faith by studying the Quran. This is the Islamic holy book. These boys are doing their homework in their compound. A compound is the home for one family or several related families. Al-Haji lives here with his cousins and several aunts and uncles. The area of the compound is surrounded by tall, mud-packed walls. Inside, there are many small buildings that are used for cooking, sleeping, and storage. Many families own goats, which live here too. Al-Haji's aunt is preparing lunch for the boys in the kitchen. She is making couscous, which is ground up millet mixed with a spicy vegetable sauce. Meals are usually shared from a common bowl, and boys and girls eat separately. Millet is prepared for almost every meal. Every day, the women and girls pick millet off the stalks and then take turns pounding it. When they finish breaking up the grain and removing the hulls, one of the girls will take it to a mill where it will be ground into flour. Bogo is surrounded by millet fields. This is one of the few crops that can grow in the sandy soil and dry climate of the far north. The dry season lasts 7 to 9 months. During this time, most of the water in the Mayo, or river, dries up. One of the English club's favorite places in Bogo is right here at their high school. These students are performing a Tupuri dance for their Youth Day celebration. While most of the young men are Fulani, they enjoy learning the traditions of their Tupuri friends. How would you describe Cameroon? The question is not a simple one to answer. This country is a land of many contrasts, from gentle hills to rocky mountains, from tropical rainforests to dry, dusty plains. And this country is home to many groups of people and many ways of life. A nation of cultural diversity, where age-old traditions blend with contemporary lifestyles. A land of natural diversity and a nation of many people, this country of Cameroon.
Be